countries develop free zones according to their requirements. And in Fujairah, at 82, the port was commissioned, and 86, the airport was commissioned. So availability, two important elements of the logistics and transportation, it was required. The free zone was, at that time, it was easy to launch. And then the demand of local partnership, the taxation elements. Until then, the approach of international companies were almost negligible. The decision of the government to launch this by early 90s and going in full scope in mid-90s, it made a tremendous change. Today, proudly, we have companies from all over the world, in Europe, even Germany. I mean, we have maybe about 3% or 2% of our companies are either German-related or German company or associated with Germany. So the free zone policies, it really helped, and it's an open invitation, and this fits into the policies again of the United Arab Emirates policy to country to be the freedom of business and trade, and which is, we realized in after 20 or 15 years, people talking about FTA, free trade agreements, and all these things. And we are very.
أهم المميزات اللي تقدمها المناطق الحرة كهيئات خدمية للمستثمرين، شو أهم المميزات؟ يعني ممكن نعددها بشكل يعني 1 2 3 بشكل نقاط يعني.
Okay. In most of the free zones and most of the people, when they approach free zones, they look at 3 major elements. One is the ownership, and 100% ownership is a very important element to many investors due to the structure of the companies, the freedom. And 2, the taxation. 100% tax relief or free tax on the corporate as well as on the individual. 3, the freedom of currency movement, and have a United Arab Emirates have a free currency flow between the capital, repatriative capital, profit. And the last element is, regarding to legislations, is the free recruitment of the manpower. These are 4 elements. Now then you have any other extra factors of availability of the system, of the logistics, of the telecommunication. But these are the 4 elements. And I think United Arab Emirates was very devoted, very committed, and very sharp and very firm to provide this, and it has succeeded. I think today the free zones in United Arab Emirates accommodate more than 500,000 manpower and more than maybe 30,000 companies operating in all over UAE, which is a very, very big achievement. And as a major important, it is one of the best tools and elements to attract medium and small industries which each country seek for.
هل تعتقد انه الازمات اللي حصلت في بعض الدول العربيه خصوصا في المناطق، هل ستساهم في جذب بعض الاستثمارات من تلك المناطق ام الى الامارات، ام انها ستتخذ وجهات اخرى الى اوروبا مثلا، الى افريقيا مثلا، الى بعض الدول الاخرى؟
The policies of United Arab Emirates always are based on a safety and security. The current scenario, it proves that. I'm sure there will be reconsideration. There might be, again, it's another there might be approach, and I'm sure the Emirates will have, it will be one of the major partners of these attraction. Because even those hubs, which is in these Middle Eastern countries, it was using UAE, but maybe they come back. So I think UAE will have another say-so. It will have its own new role and new attraction. I look very optimistic about that. But also other countries are very open to that, neighboring countries, Middle Eastern countries, and European. But I think UAE will be a major partner.
What this was about.
Okay.
يعني ما حددنا التايتل في البدايه يعني.
Okay.
إذا كنت تتكلم عن كذا كذا وكذا تدخل.
Okay. Yes. Talking about the current political scenarios and no.
No, just make a normal sentence like in the current political scenarios or whatever,
Okay.
the financial crisis.
Okay.
Something like that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
The current political scenarios in the Middle East, with the regions as we see, it has reinforced or reinstated the policies that United Arab Emirates adopted in early 70s and strongly in the mid-90s and late 2000 in attraction of investments. And I'm sure many business houses that were accommodating themselves or operating in those regions will relocate, and I think United Arab Emirates will have a big share of that, and we are very much optimistic. The scenario, to be short, it just proved the points of that United Arab was making, and since we had this, we are elite, we are pioneers, I think we should have a better part of it.
في جاب في العلاقات في حجم التبادل التجاري في الصادرات والواردات بيننا وبين المانيا، باعتبار المانيا دوله طبعا سبقتنا في مجال الصناعه الدوله سعت الى ايجاد بدائل او حلول لهذا الخلل في ميزان التبادل التجاري بيننا وبين المانيا. اذا حاب تتكلم عن هالنقطه استاذ شريف، شو ممكن تقول في هالمكان؟
When we look at the trade balance, or the balance of the trade between the two ends, we know there is a little bit of unbalance, and that's a very, very natural factor. Germany is a very it's a country, a great country. It's advanced into technology, into service, into many fields. Our policy is not just to rely on oil and oil products. The government of United Arab Emirates are very determined into developing other sectors. I think we will not be exaggerating too much, or will not be very over-optimistic, but we say we are in the directions, in the right directions. We try to develop our small and medium type of industries, taking the advantages and taking the given elements of the location, of the resources, let's say location of the United Arab Emirates between east and west, the availability of natural resources from the neighboring country. So we might take the processing. So it might be some of the product that's come back from Germany, it go originally from UAE to Germany. I mean, maybe the first half has been, it could be phased in 3 levels. First phase has been done in the neighbor countries, the second phase in UAE, third phase in Germany. So this will enhance the trade value going, I mean, the export from UAE will increase. And I think it will take time, and we are in the right directions.
شو رايك في حجم اعاده التصدير عبر الدوله؟ الدوله صارت من اهم نقاط اعاده التصدير عبر يعني السؤال مرتبط بالسؤال اللي قبله، فنركز عليها الجانب الايجابي اللي سوته الدوله في هذا المجال، واستغلت الموقع الجغرافي بشكل مثالي. اليوم صرنا من اهم الدول في مجال اعاده التصدير بين الشرق والغرب، بس ناخذ تعليق بسيط منك حول هذا النقطه.
When we talk about the trade, when we talk about business, enhancing of economics, I think it's always in any, as a customer or as a consumer, always he wants a total business solution. We cannot just do import, and we cannot do import and export. We have to give, so import, export, and re-export. And I think our adaptation to that, to make use of this, it helped. One, to increase the activities in our facilities, in the ports and airports. Two, also they give 100% of conformity and relaxation to the businessman. So this was a total package solution. Everybody wants, I mean, today people using devices that can do TVs, radios, cameras. People want to reduce the space, reduce the elements and resources are getting smaller, lesser, so we have to make a better utilization. Similarly, the services should be more comprehensive, more accurate, to reduce the cost. Today, competitiveness is very important in the world. So I think we be focusing on that on individual levels as a free zones, economics, and even the national level.
الإحصائيات اللي حصلنا عليها تشير إلى أن الدولة تجنبت حجم التبادل التجاري في الدولة، تجنب إنه يكون في دروب في 2008 في حجم التبادل التجاري بيننا وبين ألمانيا. يعني هذا شيء كان غريب بالنسبة للمتابعين والمحللين، إنه الإمارات ما صار في تناقص كبير في حجم التبادل التجاري بينها وبين ألمانيا في هذه الفترة، على الرغم من وجود قطاعات ثانية تأثرت. بشكل عام ناخذ الازمه الاقتصاديه وناخذ هذا كدليل على اساس انه الازمه ما اثرت شيء، لكن وجهه نظر الشخصيه للاستاذ شريف العوضي في هذا الموضوع، كيف استطاعت الامارات انها تاخذ وقت قصير في المعاناه مع الازمه، وقدرت مع الوقت انها توقف وتتخلص من تبعات الازمه اللي صارت؟
The economic scenarios in 2008 and until today, it was a result of, I mean, there were so many sectors, but the main sector was suffering was the real estate, purely the real estate and the related activities to it, and the insuring and the others. When we see United Arab Emirates, it didn't lost its balance, trial balance of import and export. It proves that Emirates was going into, earlier they were ahead. I mean, we had, real estate was not the only scope. We maybe got a little bit slowed down in it, real estate, but the other business was good, was going on. This is where we are ahead of many countries. The imports, the trade, the base for business. Today people still eat, still go holidays. So the consumption is there, only maybe the investment. So if you don't see big, if you see there is a slow but steady, because we were prepared, or we are not prepared, we had a history of developing the business. And we're not talking about over 5 years. The United Arab Emirates trade businesses, it might not be very long in comparison to many countries, but it's not short. We're talking about more than 3 decades, or even, I'm talking precisely, the country is going to celebrate its 4 decades of independence. But at least UAE, even though the short time, has developed itself as a trade house. And this was the reason. If we didn't have the elements of real estate, then we didn't have any problem, which is good. Others, they did not have trade, they did not have, so their balance sheet was, maybe it was zero.
تكلمت يا استاذ شريف قبل على انه المناطق الحره، يمكن نرجع لموضوع ملف المناطق الحره. المناطق الحره صارت مطالبه باحداث عوامل جديده، عوامل جذب جديده، يمكن يعني دخلت على الخط مناطق استثماريه جديده بنتها بعض الامارات او بعض المناطق في المنطقه، تقدم خصائص قريبه من الخصائص اللي تقدمها الفريزون. بعدين صار في مفهوم جديد انه بعض الاستثمارات الكبيره جدا صارت تعتمد على الدعم الحكومي المباشر، او انها تكون تحت مظله البريلا مالت الدوله نفسها، يعني تحت اسامي القيادات العليا للدول. هذه المشكله، هل ممكن للفريزون توجد بدائل او توجد خصائص جديده؟ انت كوجهه نظر شخصيه، رجل صرت في المجال هذا صار لك سنوات طويله، وممكن عندك رؤى اخرى لتطوير المناطق الحره، كيف ممكن نخلق مثلا طريقه عمل جديده للمناطق الحره في المستقبل؟
When we talk about the roles of the economic zones or free zones in any place, and today we'll talk about the economic zones and and the free zones in United Arab Emirates. One of the things that comes in mind, or what will be the future, the shape of the free zone concepts in the free zone itself, it's developed. I mean, so it comes to my mind, we have to have a continuous developing process in any sectors, whether it's a service sector, trade sector, social sector, any sector, development, it should be our main guideline. Now, when the free zone were started in UAE in early 80s, many people thought it's only for foreigners, only for people who want to avoid local participation. And by the end of 90s and early 2000, or I mean in a 15 years period, people find out it's free zones provide a comprehensive solution. So local multinationals has become joint. I think the role of the free zone always will be important and essential, because even though when there is a project that got involved of the governmental participation, it doesn't matter to what size. The freedom, I mean, the word free zones today means the freedom of doing business at international standards and equal rights. But I agree with you that we have to develop ourselves, to enhance, to change some commodities. I mean, if we are selling of beverages, we're not shifting from beverages to something else. We develop that beverages. If you're talking about devices, like for example, I'm sorry, if we take an example today, a free zone, it used to be just manufacturing. It could be trading. Today it can be logistics. Even in the word logistics, actually logistics means what? Means everything. It's a comprehensive. So our duty to follow the needs and to look to develop ourselves. So what are the needs of the new trend? I think with the new policies, the free zones will play a better role. Policies, maybe countries, they have some views, but still, it's a trademark. It's a business theme that will always, it will have a say-so in any place's economy, including the United Arab Emirates.
كيف تشوف